So my wife and I, we were in an Islamic bookstore and I was looking for a book to see if I could find something on entrepreneurship, something that would link the Sunnah or what Islam says about business, entrepreneurship, trade, these kind of things. And I couldn't actually find anything. The only thing that I could find was a little bit of scraps of, maybe something to do with finance or transactions. And even then it was quite fragmented as well. But there wasn't like a wholesale discussion on what entrepreneurship and Islam have that can work together basically. And so my wife actually said to me at that time, you really need to be writing this book. And to be fair, at that time I didn't feel like it was the right thing for me to do at that time. But looking into it and thinking about it over the next year or two, I started to realize that okay, there is some of this information that's out there, but also because of what I'd been observing about businesses out there and seeing which businesses grow really quick just because of my profession and things, I started to realize that I can actually start piecing this together. And for me, really, the biggest thing that I started to realize that entrepreneurship is this really amazing vehicle that we can use to actually put the Ummah back to, take the Ummah back to its golden era and dispose of the tyranny that we have that surrounds us and get us to that point that we're all really desperately trying to get to in terms of where the Ummah needs to be. And that's basically why I wrote this book. And there's a lot of concepts that have been discussed in there. And right now, all I want to do with this book at this stage is really just plant the seed of entrepreneurship and say, look, this can be a really valid career choice. It doesn't have to be a last resort anymore. Entrepreneurship doesn't have to be something that you do just because you can't do anything else, or that you do because you think that maybe you'll get hit with a stroke of luck. You can actually take it as something that's really serious, and it can be just as valid a choice as being a doctor or a lawyer or an optician or an accountant or any of these other choices. In fact, I think it should be the primary choice right now. Especially, there should be at least one entrepreneur in every household. So that's why this book's been written, and that's the kind of overriding theme of this book. So it's already gearing up for launch. It's going to be out very soon, inshallah. I'm really excited about getting it in the hands of people. I have written it, and of course there is some bias here, but I genuinely do believe, and especially with the reviews that I've gotten back, the independent reviews that I've read it so far, I genuinely believe that this is going to be a game changer. This kind of discussion and this kind of approach to this topic has never been done in this way before, genuinely, because I went looking for it and I didn't find it. And just to be clear, it's not really this book isn't really a discussion of the fiqh of entrepreneurship or of business. It's not about what's the halal and haram of what we can and can't do. It's not about you shouldn't be selling pork because it's haram and this is how your transactions should be geared. It's not about that. It's just about the discussion of why entrepreneurship is important to the deen and to raising the honor and the dignity of the ummah. And so, like I said, I'm really excited for you guys to be reading this book, and inshallah, it's going to be a game changer, and I can't wait for it to be in your hands. Assalamu alaikum.